I'm Yuri.
I'm Jacob.
And we're going for a drive.
Are you the type of person who wants to spend nearly 6 figures to save 3 figures?
Yes.
Have we got the comparison for you? The BMW X5 X-Drive50e.
And the Lexus RX450h+.
These are both plug-in hybrids, so naturally we're going to put them into sport mode and floor it. Yuri, ready?
I got the jump.
Bye-bye.
And that was it. Oh, I'm in electric mode. Why am I in electric mode?
Ah, it defaults to that. Let's try this again.
All right, now I'm in HV mode. Wow, God.
Still not even close.
All right, so a BMW that costs more is faster.
Hey, we'll get to the price later. It's actually a lot more similar than you'd think. Let's get to the horsepower and torque, Yuri.
Horsepower and torque.
This BMW has a whopping 483 horsepower and 516 pound-feet of torque from a turbo 3-liter inline 6-cylinder hybrid, and that Lexus has 304 horsepower, 175 pound-feet of torque from a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder hybrid.
And what is the electric-only range of both?
This BMW has up to 64 kilometers of range, and that Lexus has up to 60 kilometers of range. Very similar.
Very, very even. And they're both only two-row SUVs?
Yeah, and being plug-in hybrids, you can drive them on 100% electricity. They do charge in a fairly reasonable amount of time overnight from a 120 regular plug. I basically was able to get a full charge from zero fully overnight by the next day.
Yeah, it's very convenient for just not having to install a charger at your home.
And if you do want to save some gas because you spent nearly 6 figures, oh man, this is definitely the SUV comparison for you.
Yeah, hit up tsp.truecar.com to look for either of these cars there, maybe save an extra buck as well. All right, now let's quiet these bad boys down with some electric-only mode.
Very easy to get into.
Silent.
Now we should floor it again.
It's so weird.
Okay, so both of these companies took completely different approaches to their hybrid systems. So this BMW integrates the hybrid motor into the transmission, and that one actually integrates it into the axles. And that actually gives these a completely different feel. This uses the transmission. You can feel it in electric actually shifting this 8-speed auto, and that one you can't because it's got an eCVT.
Hey man, continuously variable electric motors, normal transmission, it's all good. It's that same Toyota feeling that I'm used to.
Yeah, but shockingly, I think I actually prefer the feel of this. It's just something different, and I like that you get instant response from the electric motor because it's tied right into the transmission.
And this is kind of the opposite of instant response. This is like just a smooth ride at all times. It feels like nothing ever shifts and you're always gliding through life in full relax mode.
Speaking of gliding across the road, let's talk about suspension. This BMW has adaptive air suspension, which is really, really comfortable. That Lexus does not have adaptive or air suspension. Still really comfortable, but we did do a test earlier.
We kidnapped our editor, or at least we hijacked him kidnap style, blindfolded him, put him in each car to find out which one was more comfortable without knowing which one he was in. Which one was more comfy, car number 1 or car number 2?
Car number 2.
Oh!
Do you know which car number 2 is?
Yes.
Which one?
The BMW.
Oh!
Ah! And turns out, he thought the BMW was more comfortable.
And I do actually agree with him. This one is the more comfortable one, but that Lexus is not uncomfortable whatsoever.
Where was it most noticeable?
The really bumpy stuff. It just felt like the air suspension was really absorbing those bumps.
Like poor asphalt, not like speed bumps.
Exactly. And then we will also test the handling at Cliche Corner towards the end of this video.
Okay, let's get into some of the Yuri stuff. LOOKS. Kind of like the way this Lexus looks a lot more.
I kind of do as well. It actually is a very good looking SUV.
My biggest gripe, the paint. Okay, gray colored cars, boring. Purple colored cars, fun, right? But there is like no reflection in that BMW purple. Like we're lining it up perfect. The metallicness isn't popping, it just absorbs it all, and I'm kind of disappointed by that.
Yeah, the eggplant emoji is actually like a brighter purple than this.
And the gray on the Lexus really pops. Also, the wheels, much better on the Lexus, but that might be because you're on winters on the BMW.
Yeah, I assume BMW had to downsize for winter, so yeah, the Lexus ones definitely look way better.
And what would be the Continental recommended tire for winter in either of these SUVs?
The Viking Contact 7.
And with those black wheels on that BMW, I cannot stand when the tire is browner than the wheel. It just makes it like look so much worse.
Although I do have these lovely M blue brake calipers, which you've got like silver, just whatever brake calipers.
Yeah, I mean, okay, this car does come in that cool rose gold. I saw one yesterday, and I still love seeing that out in public. As for front ends, I think they're tied. It really just depends on which brand you like the looks of more.
Yeah, I'm really coming around to that Lexus. It looks so good, and I'm getting used to the BMW, but between these two, I'm actually going to pick the Lexus for overall looks.
And the reason we're not rocking a front plate on the Lexus is because it's got Quebec plates on it. And oddly enough, I actually don't know what that says in French on the back, Je me souviens. So if you know what that means, leave a comment below. People from Quebec only.
Quebec is an important market, Yuri.
That's probably what it means. That's the running joke for press cars in Canada.
Shout out to our Quebecois subscribers.
And fellow car reviewers. And then as for headlights, taillights, I think Lexus is a little bit better because you've got the newer style BMW headlights, which both aren't our favorite. And then as for taillights, the red, the line all the way across, just pops a little harder in the Lexus than it does in the BMW.
Yeah, and even the sides of them just look better to me, like just that Lexus overall.
And then other cool looks features, we have a clamshell trunk in the BMW, which the Lexus does not, which, yeah, that is cooler. I think that's cooler. But we both have a close button on the trunk and a lock and close on the trunk. And the Lexus one is nice because if I click that while I'm still under there, it'll beep and it'll wait till I walk away to actually close the trunk and not try to squish me.
And speaking of trunk space, I think the BMW definitely has more of that.
Yes, but you don't have three-prong power in the trunk of the BMW, and you can't fold and raise your seats from the back of the BMW. Points Lexus.
But I do have a 12 volt, so if I wanted to light a cigarette from the trunk, I could.
Can you actually, if you get like one of the things?
Why wouldn't you be able to?
I don't know. I've not tried to light a cigarette in a car, ever, since I was a kid. And then if we pop the bonnets, who's got more orange cable for hybridness?
Well, I think the BMW's got longer cables, so longer always wins, right?
Yeah. And then what side is your charging port and which side is your gas cap on?
The charging point is in the front left driver's side, and the gas cap is in the rear right.
And the wonderful engineers at Lexus made both of my plugs at the back on either side. Except it doesn't say which side the electric one is on from the gauge cluster. It only shows me where my gas one is.
Yes, same with the BMW. It's actually showing everything to the right, which is even more confusing.
And you know what I had to do is I tried to unplug my charger from the wall first, and then I couldn't unplug it from my car. So then I had to plug it back in, start the car, turn it off, and then get it off that way because it was locked.
I guess that kind of makes sense as a safety feature because you probably should never unplug from the wall first.
Okay, but what if my power dies on the wall?
Oh.
Then does it think that I pulled it from the wall? I don't know.
You got to get a generator for your house to unplug the car.
As a backup in case it gets plugged. I'm sure if I locked it, unlocked it a couple times, it would have solved itself. Anyways, proximity touch on both cars. That's nice. I got it in the back too on the Lexus, which makes it very convenient. But I do have like the fully electronically controlled handles, no physical movement.
Yeah, exactly. And the BMWs are just kind of more traditional. I like them.
But from the inside, the Lexus has that nice push button to exit door handle, which means for the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be phantom pushing that on every car, hoping that I still have that.
It is actually a great feature once you get used to it. BMW got traditional door handles, no problem. We got seat presets over here, and then we can even control the passenger seat from here, which is awesome.
I can control the passenger seat from buttons on the side facing me on the passenger seat, which is cool. And both the driver and passenger side in the Lexus has up, down, forward, back, lumbar, which a lot of other cars don't always have. Forward, back, and up, down, lumbar, and everything.
And the BMW also has all of that as well on the driver's side, which is great. And then what about the visors, Yuri?
I think they'll pass for sure. 3, 2, 1.
Yes!
Yeah!
Good job, BMW.
Okay, I got ventilated and heated seats in the Lexus and a heated steering wheel.
And that's all through your infotainment, right?
Always visible at the bottom, even though it is not a hard button.
Just like in the BMW, it is always visible. This is iDrive 8.5, so I do have heated and cooled as well as a heated steering wheel through the infotainment.
And then I've got a little rotary dial with digital in the middle for my temperature, and you're fully digital for the temps, right?
That is correct, other than my max defrost or my rear defrost.
Have we gotten used to it? Have they beat us down? Have they made us just accept the fact that we're going full touch button climate and there's nothing we can do about it?
Honestly, I'm at that point. I've lived in Apple CarPlay in this, and I haven't touched my climate other than plus or minus and just left it in auto, and the car has done a fantastic job of just allowing me to live in CarPlay.
Also lived in CarPlay. This has wired or wireless. Right now I'm doing wireless because my garbage gas station cable decides to not work quite often, but it does not have the update yet that I think is coming to a bunch of Lexus and Toyota products where the menu will stay on the left for your normal infotainment.
And if I didn't want to touch this lovely high resolution screen in the BMW, I could also use my rotary dial, which is super easy to use, and then I do have the hard buttons to also control that.
Rotary dial is pretty clutch, pretty clutch. How about cup holders? Do you have any gimmicks today?
I have heated and cooled, Yuri.
Okay, I do not have heated or cooled cup holders, but I do have the cup holder where if you push the button, it raises it up higher, making it easier to pull out, which I think is even better than heated or cooled.
Nah, major points to the BMW. I want heated Red Bull and cold coffee at all times.
I get that, I get that. Shout out Red Bull because they made that video where the drone was chasing the F1 car, and that's the coolest thing I've ever seen as a former FPV drone pilot from the start in like 2015.
Oh yeah, it's so cool. Actually kept up with, I beat the F1 car.
Yeah, I didn't even think about the design that way, but it makes so much sense, but I'm also not an engineer at all.
So now we have to see what Monster Energy is gonna do.
They're just gonna they're gonna have a jet chase an F1 car or something.
Exactly. The rest of this interior in the BMW feels really nice. Everything looks really nice. We do have sort of gloss black, but with some texture up here, so I don't mind it.
Lots of gloss black in the Lexus, and I'm okay with that. What's nice is this cloth material that kind of like wraps around. I think I definitely have a nicer dashboard layout in here.
I don't know which one's nicer. I've just gotten used to this BMW that I'm like, okay, it's fine. But yeah, you're right. Maybe that one does look a little bit better.
Okay, armrests. Can you put both elbows comfortably and touch your steering wheel?
Very comfortably.
As can I, and then I've got a slightly gimmicky armrest where I can pop it open from either side.
That's all fun, but I also have launch control, which isn't exactly real, but it still does it. Oh my God.
I got 3 words for you, Jacob. C, V, and T. Purr, baby, purr. Yeah, it's kind of slow, but this isn't a sporty car. It's not an F Sport. It's not an F. It's not a GR.
I wouldn't expect either of these to be fast, but the BMW actually really surprised me. It has so much horsepower and torque, and 0 to 60 is like 2 seconds faster than the BMW. It's like around 4 seconds, whereas that Lexus is about 6 seconds.
It does kind of suck that your M badges are now replaced with like blue I badges.
Wait till Apple finds out about this. Electrified by I badge.
So then moving on to the rear seats, tons of room in both of them, and we both have baby shades, and then we both have nice moonroofs, but I think the BMW's moonroof's a little nicer with ambient lighting that ties into the moonroof as well.
Yeah, it is absolutely massive. We have those like little colored dots. Well, they become colored with the light. It's a great experience in here. And these front seats are also very, very comfortable. I have even more comfortable headrests in the BMW than that Lexus, like 100%.
The BMW is more comfortable, and I think you can get a massage option somehow because your door panel is missing that. Like, that would be really key. And as you notice, sometimes I look away and I get a beep because it's got eye tracking. It tells me to keep my eyes on the road, which I kind of appreciate because every time it beeps at me, I'm like, no, you were right. I was looking away.
And this also has eye tracking in the BMW, but it doesn't use it for driver inattention when you're not in lane keep assist or adaptive cruise control. That's the only time that it uses it. So as long as you keep your eyes straight when you're on the highway, it does a really good job of lane keep assist.
Yes, and this Lexus has really good adaptive cruise lane centering. Very good, but the BMW is better.
And one more interesting feature that this BMW has that your Lexus doesn't is reverse parking assist. And I had to actually use it this morning in the car wash, and it worked flawlessly.
And all of you know that like driving into a car wash or a drive-thru can be tricky enough sometimes. When it's in a $100,000 plus car, it might be a little scary. And reversing out is a total nightmare. It did it flawlessly, besides that one car that snuck up on you from behind.
Yeah, not BMW's fault though. That was mine because I was so excited about the system working so well.
And then when it comes to 360 cameras and everything, pretty tied, but the Lexus lets you see underneath the car, which is cool. But one thing I don't like is that you can get a super wide lens, but it's a little bit too warpy and unnatural.
All right, so let's get into the fun stuff. On the way to Cliche Corner, we do have a bunch of drive modes. I've got sport, hybrid, electric, and then basically individual between all those. So Cliche Corner, I'm gonna be in sport with 1 traction off.
Eco, Sport, Normal in the Lexus, and I've been keeping it in Eco and Normal the whole time, but I'll go through Sport and cliche corners just to leave that BMW in the dust.
Oh, buddy, there's no chance. I've got like 300 or 400 extra pound-feet somehow. And these both are all-wheel drive, although the systems do work differently just because that Lexus has the e-motors on the axles, basically. So let's get into this.
What do you think, I'm gonna understeer or what?
100% you're gonna understeer. This thing is not. I am on you. Come on, you're gonna get away. I dare you. I'll give you $100 if you can get away.
No chance.
No chance. This BMW rips. It's like they took all the M stuff from the upper models and just shoved it into their hybrid. Like, yeah, you know what? Here you go.
Yeah, that's why I'm like kind of disappointed that it's got the I badge instead of M badges. Because like, let's be real. Let's be real.
Hey, they put them on the calipers, so whatever. It's even on the steering wheel.
All right, now time to switch them up. I want to see how much more comfortable that BMW is, and if that extra cost attached to it will sway me to buy a BMW hypothetically over a Lexus.
And I'll see if I'm okay getting a discount on a Lexus and still enjoying the experience.
All right, so first thing, these seats are more comfortable, and let's see if I get some emotion from this launch. Oh, you got me, BMW, you got me.
All right, in this Lexus, the first thing I notice is a padded steering column. What? Okay, these seats are pretty good. Let's go. Accelerator and brake press simultaneously. It's a little strange, but it's okay.
It's a comfort vehicle. It's not a sporty vehicle.
And that's honestly, going into this, what I expected both of these to be. I'm just shocked that that BMW is so fast.
It's kind of like the Porsche Panamera e-hybrid kind of thing, where it's like, yes, it's a hybrid, fast as hell hybrid.
Going over the cliche bump. Oh yeah, yours looked good. Mine felt great.
Yeah, this feels pretty smooth. And then Jacob Lexus, keep up with me.
No, understeer city over here.
I'll give you your $100 back if you can keep up with me here.
Understeer city, not a chance. Oversteer, understeer, off throttle. Oh my God.
Yeah, the BMW is a lot nicer through there, but it's still not like M levels of niceness.
No, but I mean, in comparison to this, it might as well be. Like, you probably would have blurred off into the distance if you kept going.
All right, now quiet. I need full silence to put it into comfort mode and see how smooth this is. It's very comfortable. Editor was right.
All right, let me just press. There's no hard button for it, and driver inattention detected. I have to go through my infotainment to change my drive mode. Kind of annoying.
So being in here a bit, I do feel a little less luxurious and a little more sporty than the Lexus.
Yeah, for sure. This Lexus interior is quite nice. I do like the suede inserts throughout the interior. We've got the Mark Levinson system, which sticks out to me right away. But I mean, between both of these, it's kind of hard to pick for. I keep looking away, damn it. It's kind of hard to pick.
As much as I like having more speed, I feel like I only want more speed in the top trim because I'm a little bit of a badge snob. So if it was between these two just by driving, I think I'd be very all right with the Lexus, but I think it's time. Do you have towing? Do you have towing or not? Do you have towing for me? You always hit me with towing last second.
I didn't look it up this time, I'm sorry.
All right, then whatever. Charles, what's the towing?
£3,500 for the Lexus and £5,950 for the BMW.
All right, so I think it's time we finally get to the price between these two.
Let's get to the price.
The Lexus is spec'd out to $87,450.
Canadian.
And that BMW starts at $90,500, and it's as spec'd at $107,000.
So that's like a good amount difference. And I guess you really tell from the speed and everything that you get and some of the extra features in the BMW.
Yeah, it's literally a 20 grand difference between these, but the starting price of the BMW is very similar to the as spec, so these are very comparable, and with the ranges and things that people actually care about, these are very similar. Although, I don't know which one I would pick. I think I'm leaning more towards the BMW just because of the massive amounts of horsepower and torque on that thing, and I feel like that's kind of the sweet spot in the X5 lineup. I love how that thing drives.
But speaking of driving both of these, I am very happy to report neither of these have a weird feeling brake pedal, right?
Oh, completely agree. Great job to both companies.
Yeah, and that's kind of wild for plug-in hybrids. But look, hear me out. With the price difference, give me that Lexus in rose gold, and I'm going with that.
Wasn't it a copper?
rose gold, copper. You know, it's all kind of the same, but you know what I'm talking about, okay?
Yeah, that was a gorgeous color.
You know what color I mean.
So you're picking the Lexus at the end of this?
If I had to pick between the two, yeah.
Okay. Although, I will say, it is a very tight margin between these, and long-term ownership-wise, I might actually have to go with the Lexus because of resale value and reliability. I will put that out there.
All right, thanks for watching. Let us know which one you'd pick and go spec one of them out on tsp.truecar.com.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe.
Subscribe even though you don't have to because the algorithm is perfect on YouTube.
Nailed that algorithm.
I keep getting these videos from this guy, It's Really Jacob, and like all his cars and his V8s in his garage. Like, I guess I'll keep watching them.
It's so weird how I get these Yuri videos about like gardening and the snowblowers and stuff.
Yeah, check out my latest snowblower video. That's gonna be the end videos at this.
It's not gonna be any TheStraightPipes videos at the end of this.
Yeah, the TheStraightPipes is now sponsored by Yuri and Jacob's personal side project channel.